Hello, it is fantastic to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for giving me a little bit of your day to check out what in the heck is going on with this makeup bag, because I know it's been a hot minute, but life is crazy, and I know your days are just as busy as mine, so I really appreciate you taking the time out to spend with me. So in terms of what's been going on for the past couple of weeks with my makeup bag, I've really gravitated towards a lot of products that are throwbacks. I'm really enjoying it, just revisiting a lot of things that I used years ago, maybe at the beginning of my channel, going back even longer than that with some of the things. So I am intrigued how to proceed in the future, and I would appreciate your feedback in the comments below. So I've kind of wanted to do a throwback Project Pan, but at the same time, I feel like it's going to get in the way if I'm trying to rotate and do a makeup bag and a makeup bag recap. You know what I mean? Because I'm already locked in with my eyeshadows between Pan That Palette and the Single Ladies I'm a Man Matte Project Pan collab challenge. So I'm curious how you feel, what you would like to see, because if I do the Project Pan, I feel like the makeup bag rotation is kind of going to need to be put on hold for a little bit, and I'll do the updates, and then once that Project Pan is done, then I could go back to doing the makeup bags, or should I just continue rotating products? So let me know, because either way, I'm happy and fine to do both, but I'm curious too how you would feel and what you would like to watch, so let me know. So in terms of what's going on with my makeup, I am really, really loving throwback products right now. First off, skincare before I even apply my makeup. I want to go through and finish what's left of my Clarins Double Serum Hydric and Lipidic System moisturizer. It's a serum. I really, really love this, and I'm having kind of the conundrum about whether or not to spend the money on this product, because it is super expensive. It's over $100, so but at the same time, I really like this. It's been great in the wintertime. It's been great in hotter weather because it stays hot all the time around here. It's great by itself on my skin to really give me soft, supple hydration, but it also works well as a primer with makeup. So I don't know what to do. It's so spendy to get this product, but I really, really like it, and I like the versatility that it's kind of universal all year round. So, and I do like the fact, I know I've talked about this before, but I like the fact that I can adjust the intensity of how much product I use depending on how the weather is looking. So I don't know, kind of on the fence, but I have to make a decision on that, don't I? So, because I really, really have been enjoying it. Then, in terms of foundation, I want to finish the last few dregs of this product. It's the Clarins SOS Primer, Camouflage Blurs Perfections. This is in the shade number 2, or Peach. It has kind of a yellowy tint, and what I do is I put a pump on the back of my hand, and then I'm going back to a throwback foundation. I used this for years at the beginning of my channel. It is the CoverGirl Outlast All Day Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation in the shade Creamy Natural. I really, really love this product, and I love it to this day. They have changed the packaging. It used to have kind of that bluish teal pump. Now it has this black and red version, but it is still the same great foundation that I remember from years ago. So that's been kind of fun, and I really like the two of these mixed together on my skin, which takes me into another throwback favorite. I'm applying it with the L'Oreal Infallible Beauty Sponge. These are fantastic. I honestly like this better than the Real Technique sponge. So if you're walking around your local Walmart, or you know, if you're at CVS or Walgreens, Target, these are really, really easy to pick up, and I like the color of it. I mean, it's just fun to have that pop of fuchsia on your counter. But one of the things I appreciate is when I do wash this after I'm done filming, the product rinses out really, really easily out of these sponges. And they last a while without tearing. I mean, I've used this for quite a while with some nails, so I've nicked it a little bit, but these are really, really great. I tend to use the base of this more often to really go in and apply my foundation, but when I need to do spot work, the point of this is absolutely wonderful to work with. So highly, highly recommend that sponge, and like I said, serious throwback favorite for me. It has been a while since I've stepped in with the L'Oreal sponge. Then in terms of powder, I'm taking it way, way back. This is kind of what inspired me with the Throwback Project Pan in the first place, because I wanted to go back and revisit how I feel about the Clinique Super Powder Double Face Makeup in the shade number 2 Matte Beige. I used to wear this particular foundation or powder when I was in high school, to when I was in college, to when I first got married, and then I walked away from it for years, but I still love it. This is really, really a nice product. If you are not a fan of foundation, this works really well if you want to just pop it over some moisturizer or pop it over some primer. And if you want it to use as a setting powder, the way that I found works best is to use a super fluffy brush to just lightly dust on the top of your foundation, and that way you don't look super cakey, super heavy, and there's definitely minimal flashback if you do it that way with this particular powder. So great, great stuff. And like I said, really, really major throwback for me, but I'm still, years and years down the road, I am still loving this product. So I've been thrilled to step back into that. And, you know, consistently, I've been able to go through these in about 3 to 4 months in terms of using a pressed powder, so that way you don't have powders sitting around if you use your makeup consistently and you want to know kind of a time frame of how long it'll take you to use that sucker up. So then bronzer, I'm freaking bronzing. I'm really loving the red bronzer because I'm so focused on these silver kind of cooler toned eyeshadows that I wanted something to really warm up my face, and so this has been a staple go-to. I'm trying my best to finish it, so we'll see kind of what happens. And in fact, it is so dark in this container, I can't really see where the product is currently, because I've got Bare Minerals shadows in here and other shadows, and so everything kind of sticks, so I have no idea what's in there, but I'm working on it and I'm really, really loving it. Concealer, this is another throwback. I wanted to go back and revisit the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer. I personally wear the shade medium. It's a light medium shade. This concealer is super thick. It is super opaque. And so what I do is I apply the tiniest little bit to my ring fingers. I warm it up, and then I'm running it on my under eyes, because I know there's a little bit of concealing property with this foundation, but I'm also doubling up the IT Cosmetics concealer as my eye primer right now. So I take, you know, the little bit on my under eyes, and then I run what's left on top of my lids. And so far it's been really great. I've had a lot of lasting capability with my shadows. Things have worked out really well. So we're gonna just keep rolling with it and enjoy it. I'm really, really liking that routine right now. Blush. I really wanted to make some tracks with my Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush Bazaar palette. This came out several years ago. When I open this up, I don't have the highlighting shades anymore, because honestly, they looked terrible on my skin then. They both made me look super ashy, because there was like a light, kind of a whitish shade that went up here, and it was horrible on my skin. And then there was like a really intense gold down here that also, it just made me look sweaty and gross and disco ball-y. I'm not having it. I don't have time for that. So I'm going to be continuing to work on the blushes out of this as we go throughout the year. Last month I wore a combination of these two blushes together to kind of give me a really nice pop of peach on my cheeks. And then this month I've really been going into kind of this berry toned mauve to offset a little bit of the coral that I have going on my eyes for this Anastasia Sultry inspired look. So the Get Ready For Me, or Get Ready With Me look is coming for, or video is coming for this look if you are curious, because let me tell you, wearing silver eyeshadow lately has been so much fun. If you have dark hair and dark eyes, I had forgotten how intense silver eyeshadow and like deep charcoals can make brown eyes look. I mean, like boring holes into your soul, kind of intensely dark. Like the first couple of times I put the silver on my lid, and then I put in those cool tones from my Lorac Pro 2 in the outer corners, I was kind of like, whoa. Like I got so used to my eyes looking very golden and light from wearing warm toned shadows that when I put this on, I mean, it was almost like my eyes went to a really deep, like almost black. It was kind of like, like a shark, you know, kind of thing. Like, that sounds a little intense, but you know what I mean? Like my eye color was so intense, it was like crazy looking in the mirror, like I almost didn't recognize myself. So try it out. It's kind of a fun shake up with your makeup. So I talked about the eyeshadows that I'm using in terms of Single Ladies and My Man Matte Project Pan, so I'll link that up here on the card above. We've got Lorac Pro 2 update for Pan That Palette coming up next week, so I'll kind of give you a run through on that when that update comes. Then there's another product I wanted to talk about. This is actually new to my collection because Smarty Pants me. So when I wanted to come up with this sultry inspired look, I decided that I wanted a bronzy eyeliner on my lower lash line and then to set it with the shade Cocoa from my Lorac Pro 2. But then when I went into my backup stash, I realized too late that I had decluttered a bronze eyeliner that I'd gotten from Octoly via Pure Cosmetics to a friend. And so I was like, dadgummit, I don't have a bronze pencil anymore. So I went to Ulta and I talked to one of the sales associates and she directed me towards Lancome with these Ombre Hypnose Stilo pencils. These are really fantastic. And so I ended up picking up the shade Bronze and I really, really like it. It does have a point that is sharp enough where I can apply it to my lower lash line. There is a sharpener on the end of this pencil because as you can see, I don't have a lot of space to work with. But if you're in the market to get a cream eyeshadow or you want a pencil that is definitely durable and that isn't going to be too chunky under your eyes, this is a really lovely formula. So I put a swatch of it on the back of my hand so you can see it. And like I said, I'm going through running it on my lower lash line. I'm setting it with the shade Cocoa from Lorac Pro 2, and I really, really love that combination. So I'm gonna have to keep this in mind in the future to try some other colors because there was an electric blue there that kind of reminded me of the Maybelline Lasting Drama liner that I love that I can no longer find in the bright blue shade. So I might have to go back later on in the year and pick up that bright blue because it was really, really stunning and pretty. And then they had a plum that is kind of similar to that Revlon liner that I have loved but can't find anymore either because Revlon has decided to discontinue it. But we're not here to talk shopping. So, but I love that if you're interested in checking some things out. I also finally had to bring in another NYX Jumbo eyeshadow pencil in Milk because my last pencil was a bust. I got down to about here. But NYX is pretty inconsistent with how the formulas go once you get way down into those pencils. And so once I got here, it would just make a hot mess in my sharpener and then it would like break off. And so I finally just said good riddance and I brought in a new pencil because I always have kind of one in the background since I go through so many of those. So we're on to the next one. And then eyeliner, I wanted to bring out a black liner. I've had this in my collection for a while. This is Lancome Le Stilo Waterproof eyeliner in the shade just black. There's no shade on here. It is a really intense black and I'm kind of liking it. Like at first I wasn't real keen. I thought I was buying like the Intense Noir pencil or something. It was a black pencil that you could sharpen, but Lancome isn't carrying those anymore, like the particular one that I was looking at. But I actually really do like this formula. So what I've been doing is I'm running this on my upper lash line and I'm setting it with the shade Licorice from my Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette as part of Pan That Palette. So that really, really love. It is a very long wearing eyeliner that I don't have to worry about transferring up during the day. So I really appreciate that. Lips. I've gotten so many comments and questions about this and compliments out in public. The combination that I am wearing is the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in the shade Rich Chocolate. It is a brown liner, but it has the slightest hint of burgundy to it. And like I said, I get tons of compliments on this everywhere I go, and apparently it broke. C'est la vie, isn't it? So, all right, I'm gonna... Oh my gosh, that is my life today. I'm gonna have to go replace this pencil now, but it is the color of the lid. And then the lipstick is the Revlon Super Lustrous matte formula. And I know that I've seen them at Walmart, I've seen them at CVS, and I've seen them at Walgreens. It is their creamy matte formula, not the ones that come in the silver tube with the black. It still has the gold tube like the Super Lustrous packaging, and this is in the shade Superstar Brown. I run it over the top. And like I said, it's neutral enough where you can make it work with a lot of different looks. Like last month I wore it with a really green St. Patrick's Day inspired look. This time it's really neutral, but it's that perfect like neutral lip, but there's that pop of wow, something different, but it's still bold where you're not just wearing a nude lip on an everyday basis. And like I said, it's different enough where people really will go out of their way to compliment me on this lipstick. So that's been really, Really kind of a nice change. So I wanted to recommend that to you if you're wanting to shake up your lip routine, because it has been absolutely just a huge difference in just people going, wow, I love your lip color. Where did you find that? I mean, it's awesome to be able to find something so affordable at the drugstore that is amazing. Then I actually forgot to put some on, but gloss, I'm trying to get through this Marc Jacobs It's Inch Changes. I forget what this lip gloss is called. I can't see something that small on camera. High Shine Gloss. Whew, that is really small. In the shade Changes. I've talked about this before in videos, but I like the fact that it has the slightest bit of like blue and green shift here. I'll pop on a little bit because the way I wear this is in the center of my lips. And I kind of pop my lips together, and it just gives the slightest little bit of shine without being a, you know, kind of a oopy goopy mess all over the lips. And it's just kind of that nice little cherry on the top of this lipstick look, and I love it. Love, love, love it. So it's kind of nice to be able to fall in love with a gloss, because I'm typically not a gloss person, but Ashley Elizabeth inspired me because she recently panned this in one of her project pans, and I was enamored with the idea of finishing a gloss. So I'm trying. I'm trying my best to go on and get through it. And then mascara, this is another favorite. I wanted to kind of see how I feel about it, and I love it. I've stepped back into the Maybelline Mega Plush Volume Express Mascara in the shade Blackest Black. I really do love this mascara. The wand is super soft. It's super fluffy. I like the fact that it bends back and forth. So like this, where you can really angle it to get into every nook and cranny of your lashes. It is super fantastic. So I'm glad to step back into this. And it's a nice light formula. Like, my eyelashes don't feel super like clumpy, crunchy, but at the same time, it's not a lightweight mascara where you feel like there's nothing there. Like, there's some oomph to it. You know what I mean? And then I'm topping it with the Hard Candy Be Bold Color Mascara in the shade Deep Dive. This is my very, 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 very favorite mascara if I'm going to wear colored mascara. And I'm not using this for the color blue. I'm using this because it brightens my eyes. So whatever black mascara I happen to be wearing, when I'm done with my makeup, I go through and run this on my upper and lower lashes just to make the whites of my eyes appear brighter, and it is phenomenal for that effect. So I love the fact that I can pick this up at Walmart for just a few dollars. It is fantastic. I cannot recommend that mascara enough. It is so, 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 so good. Then lastly, I'm working on my NYX Wonder Pencil in the shade Light Clair. There's not really much to update on it. it's kind of a throwback favorite because I haven't found another nude pencil that I really like just as much as this one, because it's not kind of creepy looking on my eyes, if that makes sense at all, because some of them can look a little bit strange in my waterline, but this is good, so I'm continuing to work on it. And then I'm also stepping back into a brow pencil that I loved before. I wanted to revisit it. It is the CoverGirl brow pencil in the shade Soft Brown, and I'm really, really liking this. Although I'm not a huge fan of the brush ends, so I'm going through with my own spoolie to kind of tang my brows before I go in, but this has been really good. So that's it. That rounds it out. So I hope you'll be on the lookout, because Pan That Palette is coming up next week with, oh, I forgot to talk, setting spray. Still working on this Ofra Makeup Fixer Light Mist. I'm at the point where I feel like the bottle's about down here. So who knows? Maybe I'll be able to finish it by the end of the month. We'll see, because it's been a long time coming with this, because there's so much product in it. But going on back to the previous note, Pan That Palette with my Lorac Pro 2 is coming up next week, so I hope you'll be on the lookout for that. And let me know again in the comments what you want to see, if you'd like to see me do a throwback project pan, or if you want to see me continue to rotate my makeup bag. And I mean, if I do the project pan, I'll do the project pan, and then once I'm done with it, I'll go back to rotating my makeup bags. But I'm very, very open to what you would like to see. So that's about it. Take care, and I look forward to catching up with you real soon. So until then, I'll see you later.